Hey guys, Robert Strongtham here. It's January 11th of the new year, 2017, and we just saw a really cool balance in the Force. This balance is just awesome. Balance patch for Elder Scrolls Legends, and I feel like they did a very good job in some ways, but in other ways, I have theories about what could happen. I'll try to go as quick as possible. First nerf, Crystal Tower Crafter is now 1-1. I don't see this card getting played, except the devs say new cards will get better and make more powerful actions, and this card will be a good future problem. Or, like, the card would have been way too more powerful. But I have a theory. What if you played a long game version? This card was usually being played as an aggressive turn 2 Crystal Tower Crafter, turn 3 Slaughterfish spawning, or Lesser Ward, or just finish off. Or it would be attacking your face for tons of damage with a ward on, or with Slaughterfish, or with anything. But now, I don't think it's going to get played that way. I think it could be played, though, as okay, I'm going to play my 2-down Crystal Tower Crafter, and then in the future I'm going to buff it and just keep letting it sit there, and if the enemy doesn't kill it, all of a sudden I have this 9/9 that will attack 3 turns later for a control deck. I really want that to happen badly. But for now, we'll just have to see. Dune Smuggler and Dune Stalker. The two moving guys have been changed a little bit. Their moving effects now only affect a creature in the lane, and I think this is awesome. Well, it's odd. What this would do is you used to have your Mournhold Trader say, you put that in the lane, and then they put up a defense of some kind, like specifically the Fighter's Guild Recruit was a really good defense, and then you would play your Smuggler, or your Dune character, move the Mournhold Trader into the other lane if you had that in your hand. And then there'd just be this 1-2 lethal doing nothing in the other lane. And I thought, a 1-2 lethal, it's a 2-mana card, it shouldn't take that much to kill, so using a Dune Smuggler to effectively kill it is pretty fair, except it can do more than kill a 2-mana card. So I think this is pretty appropriate. Basically, in the same situation, it would leave behind this 3-1, or that 3-1, in the lane with the Dune Smuggler. And I actually think this is kind of necessary, because this just helps control decks actually keep up with the double lane system, in my opinion. Alright, Pillaging Tribune, or actually, let's look at really quick. Okay. Pillaging Tribune. It used to give all friendly creatures in the lane drain for a turn, and now it only gives one creature in any lane drain for a turn. Well, willpower life gain is looking very hard to do, in my opinion. This is the card I was seeing a lot, and I think this is appropriate because Pillaging Tribune basically won you the game sometimes, instantly, and it broke for control decks. So I don't think that was very fair. It's still pretty powerful. Snaketooth Necklace now has drain for 1 turn because giving drain permanently is too crazy, and I agree with this, although to be honest, it doesn't change the functionality of the card that much. Like in the decks that I would play it in, for example, Snaketooth Necklace would gain me 7 life before I traded, or before I hit an enemy creature and the next turn Leaf Lurker or Finish Off happens, or they just kill it outright. This just makes it so that it makes sure that if the enemy has no response to it, that I don't keep gaining life. And they don't need to respond to it because I'm not getting life anymore, except for the fact that I probably have a really powerful card. Still really good life lane. And if you don't want to use Snaketooth Necklace, you can use other cards. Whereas, yeah, Pillaging Tribune, I guess you could use other cards, but Pillaging Tribune was by far the best. It might even still be the best. Alright. Slaughterfish Spawning is now a 4-mana card, which I think is beautiful. Just looking at this right now, I feel like the card is still playable. It's just not super powerful. And again, it's a neutral card. It can go in any deck, any aggro deck, because you still play 2 separate snowball characters. So I like that nerf. Soul Rush Marshal. Now it's 6 mana, costs 6 less instead of 5 mana, costs 5 less. I think it's still powerful, but it's later. And the devs point this out, that now there's a 1-turn difference. So, Elixir or not, this is a turn 5 or a turn 6 play to play your 4/4 and another big creature. And, potentially, another 4/4 because of another Soul Rush Marshal, or if you can really get 3 Soul Rush Marshals off. That's crazy. But gonna be honest, like the randomness of this card is that depending on what your opponent's hand is, it could just win the game still. It's just harder because it's not on turn 5, it's on turn 6. It's still a good card. Alright, Hissgrove. Now, it doesn't instantly give you your 2/8/8s, it gives you them at the beginning of your turn. And that's actually really important because now your opponent can kill them reliably. And not only that, but that's a 1-turn delay, and then your 8/8s do not have charge. So this is a 2-turn delay. If you have 15 mana or 14 mana and you play this, 2 turns later you can attack. That is really heavy, but it's pretty necessary because other control decks just weren't getting along with this one, and making all control decks have to be endurance was not fun. Alright, that's all the cards. Do I want to go over anything else? I talked about my theory of the Crystal Tower Crafter, Dune Smugglers. I feel like they're still amazing, though. Like, they just got a little bit worse. That's all. Pillaging Tribune. Less powerful life gain. Pretty awesome nerf, honestly. Snake-Tooth Necklace. Pretty awesome nerf. I understand. It's still a good card. In the right situations. Slaughterfish Spawning. Still a good card, in my opinion. I haven't played it yet, though. Soulless Marshal. Still a good card. Hissgrove is good, but it's really hard to use now. And what else? Life gain. Control life gain is really difficult, it seems, for Bethesda to work on at the moment. If you ask me, most of the decks I've been running across were, well, at least before the patch, were endurance control decks, and there were the aggro decks / tempo decks, basically. There were no other control decks because of the Hissgrove, really. Control Mage was good before. And now they nerfed another life gain system and even more of the Scout Ramp. Scout Ramp I have actually played a little bit with, and I'm still finding it wins, just less often. And I've actually seen a few more control decks pop up, but realistically, control decks have a really bad problem because whenever there's a life gain ability, they can be incredibly difficult to defeat. And whenever there isn't, like after a nerf like this, or just there's some odd way, like Control Mage, what happened to Control Mage? It's just not working. Like, the aggression in the game, even though there's a whole Prophecy Rune system, there's just not a lot of ways to come back after getting your prophecies destroyed, even if you drew multiple cards. I think what could happen is the prophecy cards could get better. Like, they don't, I don't think I've ever, no, I have seen this, Bethesda has buffed their cards a few times. I think they should, like, rebuff some prophecies, because right now, most prophecy cards are either viable or 3 of in every deck, and there's not even that many 3 of in every deck. Like, if you're a control deck and you're banking on, I'm going to take damage, draw some cards, but, like, I'm going to use good cards and etc., you're not necessarily banking on the prophecy to win you the game. You're in addition to playing a late game cards and having that disadvantage, you have the advantage of drawing cards. And in other games, this works. But it's very hard for the devs to handle this. So let's just go into a game. This is the Meta Scout deck that I was playing with to rank up. And this is the list that I was using. So, I'm running 2 Snake-Tooth Necklaces that are worse, and 3 of the new Hissgroves that are worse. Everything else, untouched. Actually, okay, no, I'm not running any Dune characters. Yep, so that's unchanged. And if I look real quick at my other decks, a lot of them were assassins that were using aggro styles, and no doubt, I don't know if, well, no doubt they don't work anymore, probably, because they all had Crystal Tower Crafter and Slaughterfish Spawning, which is still totally usable, but just the amount of turn early game cards there are not very many. However, Daring Cutburst is still in the game, and Game Mina has Prophecy, so that's something. Just It wasn't as snowbally as the Crystal Tower Crafter, and the Giant Cuppers can only gain 1 up per turn. But yeah, that's what I see. Yeah, like I said, I think they need to make Prophecy a bit more something, because it feels like the aggro decks can be a bit tyrannical, and the control decks, the late game decks, the late game just has no incentives. We're going to put this away for later. And Archer? I don't know if we want to put these away. Definitely don't want to put this away. Okay. Step 1. Say hello to all of your opponents, and like all of the videos you watch on YouTube. Ah, yes. Thank you. Now, he has the nerfed agility cards in the deck, no doubt. Or new ones. Who knows? I'm not going to use the ring. I found with this nerf, at least in this deck, that there's a bit more of a rush to kill your opponent, because there's always the chance now that you could have your Hissgroves destroyed. But this deck is not running Hissgrove Destruction. I'm going to give him that for free, but whatever. Hissgrove is still going to be largely useless for a while in this matchup. And like I said, there's a bit more of a rush to kill your opponent, because you can no longer go, okay, Odahviing into Snaketooth Necklace, gain like 24 life in the course of 2 turns. Nope, it's gain 10 life once. And keep in mind, I only have 2 in the deck. So if I use one to gain 5 life, that's 5 life. The other one can only get so high life amount. Another cool thing about the nerf, Altar Assassin was untouched. It lost occasionally. It's weirdly balanced, But none of the cards in the deck were actually harmed, even though all the agility cards were totally destroyed. Well, should have given him free Thieves Guild Recruit. Realistically, right now, this is doing nothing for him. So I'll just put this here and get further into the future. I think next turn we're actually going to put this into that lane. And I mean, we could have preserved over the root, 4-4-4-4, but what's the point? He doesn't have any threats yet.
I'm ready for anything.
And now we know his turn 6 could be the Soulless Marshal into Soulless Marshal. That's a problem. Hey, next turn this is a 6-6 guard. That, I really like that idea. And we're going to draw a card first, because we're going to play this anyways. Just in case if we drew a better card.
I will protect the Hist.
Alright. As you can see, right now, the deck's not changed. Except for the fact that I do actually want to kill him a little bit faster. So if I get the chance, I might put him to 26. And then incrementally to 21. And etc. Because I can't guarantee that I'll just be able to keep getting life. Except by like Blood Magic Lord spells if I really get that lucky. But that's fair. I'm probably, to edit this deck, going to put in a third whoever it is. Snaketooth Necklace. He silenced it, so is he going to rapid shot? Kill it? Okay. That's fair enough. But hey, we cleared the lane. He's got 2 mana left to play his Mournhold Trader. That would hurt. But, and if I'm lucky, he'll attack me with the Fighter's Guild Recruit and give me a card next turn to do something with. Because right now, I'm looking at a Nogleave on an empty board over here, which does nothing. Because I don't want to attack him. Wow, he actually did that. He actually did that, too. I mean, I guess he shackled this. Well, realistically now, I don't think he's running any supports, and most of the cards in the Archer deck, to my knowledge, are things like Charge and Summon effects, so Shadowman Priest Silence is not going to get very much value. So I think I'll use it on that. But then I have 2 mana to do what? Ramp into a Tree Minder, which would be cool because we have 2 mana, 9 mana cards in our hand, so I actually like that idea. We're going to put this here. Yes. We're going to put this here. This turn, Soulless Marshal into Triumphant Jarl, perhaps? I forgot if Triumphant Jarl is 6 mana or 5. I hope it's 6, because 5 mana is a bit crazy. Even though it won't matter on this turn if he plays a Soul Rest Marshal into it. Or better yet, double Soul Rest Marshal. In which case, we do have Tazcat next turn. Or Nagliv next turn. Or Blood Magic Lord. But Blood Magic Lord, I would not be able to play any of his spells. Oh, I've actually not seen this card played before. It just permanently has cover. That's a problem. Because I just used my Silence. I did not see that coming. Mother of Mud. Alright, so he's going to attack, and then it's going to gain cover. I have 3 Leaf Lurkers, so when he attacks and trades into a creature, it'll be all good. Wow, I've not seen this card, and there's no way I can deal with it. Silence, Leaf Lurker, Crushing Blow. Nope. And like I said, we're actually going to start going in there early, because we are not going to risk it. And I want to play Blood Magic Lord, except it's not going to get to trade into very much now. Good thing is I have a 4-3 on this side to trade with whatever he plays. Playing the Blood Magic Lord instead of the Tazcat or the Nagliv, because if we're going to be real for a minute, Nagliv, I'd better save it for when he's going to play his Soul Rest Marshal. Ooh. That's good, because that was one of few ways to remove Nagliv. I was not going to play Tazcat either in the last turn. So now he gets to attack that. And he has another lethal on the board. I have Corpse Curse, which actually makes this card lose its cover. Leaf Lurker. That was the card. And I do want to play the Corpse Curse and play the Thorn-Hiss Mage. And then what else do I have? 3 mana, potentially 4, to Windkeep Spell Sword. I like it. I like it. Yes, that's my turn. Forgot. Okay, Elena Benek can only, she can play herself in one lane and shoot wherever. Even the face. Alright. We don't want to give him that rune quite yet, because he does have 3 cards, and a 5/5. Who knows? He could turn this back. I also have the Leaf Lurker, so I think what I might do is 2/2 in here, 1/2 into there, Leaf Lurker. I have a 4/5, getting stronger. Guard. I have a 4/3 in this lane. Eventually, I'll have a very late Hissgrove. I have good cards in my hand as well. I like to save the Shadow Shift for moving cards to trade well, especially the 3 Blood Magic Lords that are in this deck. Or are they 2? I forgot. But it's really cool when you get to do that. That's awesome. That's another way you could have killed Nagliv. If only he knew. That's not going to get buffed, is it? Oh, it is. 6 damage. Silence 2/5 or 2/2. His option. Yes! That's interesting because he has no cards left. And now is where we can totally safely push for anything. Second Hissgrove. Okay. I'm going to play Tazcat and trample that and get a 4/4 in that lane.
My scales move in shadow.
I'm not going to attack this 5/4. We're going to play Leaf Lurker and not play Tazcat then. Holy cow, I didn't math that right. Well, now I'm forced to do it, aren't I? Or I could just take 6 damage and get 2 runes. He's not going to draw 10 damage, even if he draws Tazcat next turn. Or even a Triumphant Jarl. Oh, Triumphant Jarl would be painful. Truth is, guys, I did not think this plan through very well. You know what else I didn't think through first? If I was going to play this, why did I not attack first? And look at that. He gets a rune. Please be the kill me card. Strengthen my courage. Okay, now he's killed that. Not that big a deal. If I wanted to, I could move this 5/5 over to the end of the other side. But I don't think I'm going to do that. There's also the possibility that he tramples or breaks through this 3/3, gets 3 damage in, and kills it with a 3/3 guard left over. Ouch. Lots of damage, and I don't have lots of ways to recuperate that damage. And this is an archer deck. Blood Magic Lord, however, says otherwise. Okay, let's be real here. If Blood Magic Lord does not draw me the spell, then I will Shadow Shift this and trade appropriately so that this lives, barely. And, okay, that's a problem though, because then the Shadow Lane does not have a guard. I do have one guard card, and I'm going to draw lots of cards. We'll just have to see, guys. Real power. Train life. That's one of the very few and rare ways I can gain life, and I think I'm going to do that guaranteed this turn. I am also going to, well, I'm going to play the Thieves Guild Recruit no matter what. Correct? Correct. I'm going to play it in here because I don't know if it really gets any value in the Shadow Lane. Okay. What do we draw? I can always use my ring. Oh, that is beautiful. Now we have 3 guards and a card draw. We're gonna do this and do that. We have 9 life. He can still win. Also, I just realized this guard is not permanently out of the Shadow Lane because we have a Shadow Shift. So we have 4 guards just there. Flying true arrows. He gave that to me right there, though. If oh, I forgot about these. Just got my Snake Tooth necklace. And I think I'm going to use it on my 7/7 and draw myself a card. Ray's dead. Raises 1 card. I don't think I need that. I can do a lot of damage to him. Yeah, I'll just go for it. I'm at 16 life. I don't think he can win anymore. Oh no, he got a prophecy. Whatever shall I do? You know, strategically speaking, I probably should have given the drain to the 7/1. Okay. We end, and I think we win. There's a chance we don't. There's quite a lot of cards now. Wow, I've not seen that card played in a very long time.
My sword hand itches.
Alright. It's a lot of guards, admittedly. Alright. And so the game ends. But notice, we just don't have, we have 1 more life gain card in the entire deck. A second, oh boy, where'd it go? A second Snake Tooth necklace. That's the only way this deck has life gain. And then perhaps a deck would have 3. My deck will now have 3. But there's a bit more urgency in killing your opponent. I did it quicker than usual. At least I guess. And I didn't quite rely on the Swamp Leviathans. So just a bit of a style change. And yeah, that's our January 11th, 2017 card nerf. And I think they did a beautiful job. But I think the developers are cooking up, hopefully, a way to get control back in. Because other than this meta scout, I don't know if there's a lot of really good strategies out there for control. But that'll be all for today, guys. So please remember to subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content. Like all of the videos you watch on YouTube for anything you can do to save the world. Share this video with your friends if you think they would like it as well. And leave some comments down below for conversation, because that's cool. That'll be all for today. See you guys.